At my best friend's birthday party, I drowned my sorrows in alcohol after a breakup and accidentally fell into her brother's arms. I patted Wayne's firm abs randomly and even boasted. "Hey handsome, with a body like this, have you considered signing with my company to debut directly?" When I woke up and saw the photos on my phone, I was dumbfounded and rushed to apologize to him with the photos in hand. Everyone in the circle knows that this prince of the capital hates me the most. "I'm sorry, Mr. Wayne, I mistook you for one of the handsome guys from my company last night." Wayne pinned me against the wall, his voice low. "Sonny, as a manager, is this how you usually treat your entertainers?" He lifted his chin, revealing a fresh red bite mark on his neck. Ding! This novel reminds you to click the subscribe button in the bottom right corner to read the complete novel. I am a manager at an entertainment company. Recently, I've been having a streak of bad luck. One of my entertainers had a scandal, and after cleaning up his mess for days, he just left me for a rival company. I was unlucky in business and in love. My younger boyfriend also wanted to break up with me. In a fit of anger, I took half a month off. I'm done. I'm exhausted. It happened to be my best friend Lisa's birthday, and she assured me, "There will be many handsome guys at my birthday party this time, and a few who want to join your company. Can you take a look then?" I frowned. "Seriously? I only get this half month off a year, and you won't even let me rest?" "Oh, come on, didn't you always say you're like an indestructible cockroach, an iron lady?" I shook my head and poured myself a glass of expensive whiskey. "Lately, I have no interest in men." As the youngest daughter of the richest man in the capital, Lisa's birthday was lavish. Just for the sake of those imported wines in her cellar, I had to attend her birthday party. On the day of the birthday party, after 2 or 3 drinks, I was already a bit tipsy. Drowning my sorrows in alcohol only made me more miserable. "Miss, can I have a drink with you?" I sat alone in a booth, and countless people came to offer me drinks. I toasted each one. "You have good looks, but if you want to debut, you need to get some surgery." After 7 or 8 years in the industry, I had a sharp eye. Anyone I spotted rarely went wrong. Except for that idiot Hugh. Thinking of this, I gritted my teeth and drank another glass. Suddenly, the light in front of me dimmed, and a well-built man sat next to me. I turned to look at him, grinning. "Handsome, are you planning to debut too?" This guy was exceptional. I hadn't seen anyone like him in his age group. I had to seize this opportunity. I took the initiative to chat him up and handed him my business card. "Hey handsome, with a body like this, have you considered signing with my company to debut directly?" By this time, I was already drunk, and I took out my phone to snap a bunch of photos of his face. Perfect, absolutely perfect. I patted his shoulder. "Wait for my call, I will definitely sign you." When I woke up, the sky fell. My phone wallpaper had somehow been changed to a picture of that handsome guy from last night. And I knew this handsome guy. He was my best friend Lisa's brother, Wayne. The famous prince of the capital. He hates me the most. My fingers trembled as I opened the photo album, and there were over 100 photos, all of him. Some even showed his shirt lifted. I'm doomed. I'm so doomed. I was terrified. I had just blacklisted someone, and now I was about to be blacklisted myself. If Wayne blacklisted me, I might as well say goodbye to the entertainment industry. Awake? Lisa suddenly opened the door and brought me a cup of honey water, startling me so much that I almost dropped my phone. "What's going on? Did you see a ghost in broad daylight?" I shook my head, then started nodding. Seeing the photo of Wayne on my phone, wasn't that like seeing a ghost? No. It was even more terrifying than seeing a ghost. I am a professional manager. I started as a part-time talent scout in college and opened my own entertainment company after graduation. In the past 8 years, I've helped many rising stars become famous and have gained some influence in the industry. But my first internship was something Lisa managed to get from Wayne through her persistent efforts. "Wayne, this girl is particularly important to me. You happen to have an entertainment company under you, let her practice there, okay?" Wayne was very resistant to my joining. The first time we met, he predicted that I would betray him. And he was right. Using the experience I gained at Wayne's entertainment company and my own intelligence, I quickly established my own company. Over the years, I've made my entertainment company thrive and even snatched a few projects from Wayne's company. As a businessman, eliminating competitors is his way, and he has long been displeased with me. A few years ago, Lisa wanted to introduce me to potential partners and tried to find some quality men through Wayne. But Wayne mocked, "Isn't one sunny enough? Do you want to bring more trouble to me?" Although later he did introduce some men, none of them were any good. Though my family background isn't as privileged as Lisa's, my father is still a well-known figure in the capital. Wayne was deliberately humiliating me. Maybe he learned about my complaints through Lisa. The last time he said he would introduce a truly good man to me. Who knew that on the day of the blind date, I would see Wayne himself at the agreed place? "Mr. Wayne, are you here for a blind date too?" Seeing him, I wasn't in a good mood. "Where's the man you were going to introduce to me?" Wayne leisurely sipped his coffee and said, "Aren't I a man?" I snorted coldly, "I see a man, but a good man? Not even close." Wayne's expression was extremely unpleasant at the time, but he held back for the sake of his reputation. He only said, "That man couldn't make it, cancelled at the last minute, so I had to come in his place." "Sonny, you really are nothing like your name." That was the last thing Wayne said to me. Yesterday at Lisa's birthday party was the first time Wayne and I met since the blind date incident. I didn't expect to cause such a big scene as soon as we met. Lisa was a bit regretful. "You drank too much last night and didn't even see the handsome guys I invited later. So you're still thinking about introducing me to someone, huh?" Lisa held my hand seriously. "Sonny, I really care about you. My biggest wish is for you to have a complete family. Although my family background is good, my mother passed away early, and my relationship with my father is average. After I became an adult, he remarried and basically ignored me. I know Lisa cares about me, but marriage is not something that can be rushed." Lisa initially had some mischievous thoughts, wanting to pair me up with Wayne. She thought it would be great if we could go from best friends to sisters-in-law and continue to play together after getting married. But I quickly dismissed this terrifying idea. Pairing Wayne and me together would be like Beauty and the Monk. Wayne is at the center of power and influence in the capital, yet he has no scandals. For someone who has been in the entertainment industry for many years, Wayne's behavior is simply abnormal. In my opinion, there are only two possibilities. Either Wayne is a big pervert who has been suppressing his true nature, or he likes men. Lisa vehemently denied it. "My brother absolutely likes women." "Don't worry, I'm not interested in your brother. There are plenty of starlets in the entertainment industry who would fancy him. I'll introduce some to him later." Everything that happened last night was completely different from what I expected. I ended up making the first move on this not-so-appealing man. After sobering up, I managed to piece together some details of last night. Wayne came to my booth with a wine glass, and after saying a few words, I suddenly felt an urge and pounced on him. Not only did I touch him all over, but I think I even kissed him. Wayne's lips were soft, and I remember he seemed to kiss me back, a passionate French kiss, no less. I beat my chest in frustration. I really messed up. Just a bit of wine and I started acting crazy. This must be because I've been so short of men lately. But now it's too late to regret. I need to find Wayne and apologize quickly. But just as I stepped out of Lisa's house, a black sedan pulled up in front of me. I compared the license plate for a while, but it wasn't the car I called. As the window slowly rolled down, I saw Wayne's profile and the red marks on his neck. "God, please don't let those be from me." Wayne turned his head to look at me without speaking, as if waiting for me to speak first, so I forced a fake smile. "What a coincidence, Mr. Wayne. Are you out driving for a ride too?" "Get in the car." I hurriedly declined. No need. I wouldn't dare take a ride in a car worth millions to commute. I said, "I'll take you to work." With Wayne's command, I had no choice but to bend down and get in the car. A strong woman can adapt. It's just a forced kiss and torn clothes. I can take responsibility. Once in the car, with only the two of us in the small space, I stared out the window in a daze, and Wayne didn't speak either. We both remained silent about what happened last night. I thought I could just get away with it, but Wayne spoke first. "Did you have fun last night, Miss Sunny?" My heart skipped a beat. Don't be fooled by the fact that I'm still breathing. My soul has already flown away. Mr. Wayne, I drank too much last night and mistook you for a sofa. Whatever I said or did last night, please don't take it to heart. Wayne didn't say a word and started unbuttoning his shirt, revealing his well-defined chest and abs. I swallowed hard, thinking there's no need to recreate the scene. He suddenly leaned close to me, showing the hickeys on his chest, the colors deepening the further down they went. Wow, did I play the piano on his body with my mouth last night? Mr. Wayne, you've got a great physique. I played dumb. Could you recommend the gym you go to? Wayne cut me off bluntly. How long are you going to keep pretending? I took a deep breath. Since I couldn't bluff my way out, I decided to face it head on. Mr. Wayne, I was wrong last night. What can I do to make it up to you? Wayne looked at me with a playful smile at the corner of his mouth. Don't worry, I don't want much. What? You want me to marry you? Isn't that a bit much? I can't even imagine what I would do if Wayne made any more outrageous demands. What? You don't want to? Wayne pulled a voice recorder out of his pocket and held it in front of me, pressing play. Wow, handsome guy, with a body like that, don't you want me to take care of you? I lunged for the recorder, unwilling to hear any more. No one knows better than I do how embarrassing I am when I'm drunk. If the rest of that recording got out, the audio would definitely need to be censored. I agree. I agreed repeatedly. It's just getting married, not walking into a fire. Wayne drove straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau without any detours. The engagement was proposed in the car, and the marriage certificate was obtained as soon as we got out. There was even plenty of time to go to work after getting the marriage certificate. Holding the marriage certificate in my hand, it still felt unreal. Are we really married? Wayne seemed much happier than I was, staring at the marriage certificate nonstop. Later, I'll send someone to help you move. I was a bit panicked. No, I've already agreed to marry you, and now you want to kick me out of the Capitol? Wayne reached out and knocked on my forehead. What are you thinking? Now that we're married, we should live together. Hearing this, I let out a sigh of relief but quickly realized, isn't this a bit too fast? Wayne looked at me, raising an eyebrow. I think it's still too slow. All right, we'll live together. I can't argue with him, so I'll just avoid him when I can. This whole thing is my fault, so I won't argue with him about it now. I'll find an excuse to delay it tonight. I don't want him to get angry and release that recording. How do you want to handle the wedding? But when it came to the wedding, I couldn't take it anymore. Mr. Wayne, organizing a wedding is too troublesome. The most important thing is that we live a good life together, right? I looked at Wayne, feeling guilty. Think about it, making such a big fuss won't benefit either of us. We're both in the prime of our careers, let's not make a big deal out of this romance. Wayne adjusted his tie. That's just you. My career can't get any higher. If it did, I'd be acquiring your entertainment company. I swear, that was the scariest wedding greeting I've heard all morning. What time are you coming home tonight? Wayne asked. I bought a new house. I'll take you to see it tonight, we'll have dinner, and buy a ring. As he spoke, he took my hand and played with it. I felt a chill down my spine. We've just stepped into the grave of marriage, and Wayne is already imposing a curfew on me? Tonight might not work. One male model I'm managing has an ad shoot tonight, and I have to be there the whole time. Wayne frowned. What ad? Durex. I truly experienced the consequences of speaking carelessly. Because that night, when I brought the male model to the studio, Wayne squeezed in as well. Even worse, Hugh, the top star who once backstabbed me, showed up too. Yes, that's right, Hugh and I had a history. I have been struggling in the entertainment industry for so many years, and the only time I failed was with Hugh. I invested so much energy in making him famous, but who knew he would cause me so much trouble everywhere? He either acted like a diva on set or recklessly ignored the company's rules. But because he was so well liked by the audience, as his boss, I turned a blind eye to his behavior. I was instantly drawn to him, and saying I wasn't interested would be a lie, but while I had feelings for him, he had none. After harassing him for 2 or 3 months, I lost my patience. Later, I reflected that maybe my harassment made him resent me, leading him to betray me. So right now, I felt a bit awkward. What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Wayne noticed the unnatural expression on my face and came to my side. Feeling guilty, I shook my head, but Wayne reached out and touched my forehead. Are you running a fever? Why are you so hot? I quickly touched my face. Unconsciously, I had turned red. But I couldn't tell Wayne that it was because I saw Hugh. It's nothing, it's just a bit warm in this studio. I made an excuse and walked outside to get some air. But at some point, someone seemed to pass behind me. I thought it was Wayne and said with my back to him, I'm just getting some air, not sneaking around. Can't you leave me alone for a moment? I turned around and saw Hugh standing there, glaring at me coldly. He betrayed me first, yet now he was looking at me like this. How arrogant. I lifted my leg to leave, but Hugh reached out and hooked my arm. Hugh, what are you doing? I looked up at him, my eyes full of provocation, and rudely knocked his hand off my arm. You're no longer with my company, and even if you were, I'm still your boss. It's inappropriate to pull and tug like this. I was initially attracted to Hugh because of his gloomy aura. This trait is rare in the entertainment industry. Since becoming a professional manager, assessing people had become a habit. I imagined how they would become popular under my management. Over time, I lost sight of what kind of man I truly liked. Thinking of this, Wayne's face flashed through my mind. What the hell? Miss Sunny, are you free tomorrow night? I'd like to take you to dinner. Hugh's sudden dinner invitation made me wary. After all, he had just betrayed me, making it hard not to suspect that this dinner was a trap. Hugh, I didn't want to be harsh, but it seems you still don't understand my stance. I stood face to face with him, looking into his eyes, and said solemnly, anyone who betrays me won't get any kindness from me. Sunny, I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding between us. Saying this, Hugh stepped forward and forcefully pulled me into his arms. In a voice only the two of us could hear, he whispered, Sunny, I've actually always liked you. It was supposed to be a passionate confession, but at that moment, I was more terrified than if I had seen a horror movie. Because over Hugh's shoulder, I saw Wayne. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be that Wayne thinks I cheated on him right in front of him on our wedding day? Thinking of this, I suddenly pushed Hugh away. Whether he believes it or not is one thing, but I need to show my resistance. I also slapped Hugh. In fact, I had wanted to slap him for a long time. When he betrayed me, I wanted to slap him, and now the atmosphere was perfect for it. Hugh's eyes turned red, and paired with his melancholic gaze, I almost wanted to comfort him again. I knocked on my own head. I mustn't be too much of a love fool. Wayne strode over and took my hand. Come home with me. Wayne was angry, and I leaned forward to look at him. Unexpectedly, this series of actions successfully angered Hugh, who rushed over and pulled Wayne away. I couldn't help but laugh in my heart, thinking, now this is a real warrior. What are you doing? What's your relationship with Sunny? Hugh was a bit agitated. After all, a young man is still a young man, daring to challenge Wayne without knowing his own strength. Thinking that this was a mess I had caused, I decided to solve it myself. I stood up and stepped forward. Let me introduce, this is my husband, Wayne. Hugh's eyes suddenly widened as if he had been hit hard. Wayne wouldn't even bother with someone like Hugh. I hurriedly followed Wayne into the car, squeezing into his compartment. Before I could recover from the ordeal, Wayne looked at me. There was an indescribable feeling in his eyes. Don't you have anything to say to me? Wayne finally couldn't help but ask. I knew what he meant, and immediately raised 3 fingers to my temple and swore. I have absolutely not been unfaithful to our marriage. Wayne slowly approached me, pinning me against the seat. I know. My heart skipped a beat. Then what else do I need to say? Wayne reached out to tidy up the stray hair on my neck and said softly, call me again. Mr. Wayne? Wayne shook his head. What am I to you? I blushed and said shyly, honey? Wayne was surprised by my answer. I thought you would call me husband. Unexpectedly, his usual stern face softened at the word honey, making him look a bit silly. So cute, I wanted to see it again. Honey? I tried calling him again. Wayne put away his silly smile. All right, I understand. Thinking back, today felt like a dream. We got our marriage certificate just like that, and I even announced it in front of others. I turned my head to look at him, thinking about going home with him tonight, and felt that life was truly amazing. Wayne said he bought a small house, but when I saw the 6-story villa near my company, I was really shocked. Wait, you bought such a big house just like that? Although I had some money, I had never seen a house of this level. I excitedly toured the house, like a country girl visiting a grand mansion. When I reached the top floor, I saw a small room with simple furnishings and casually asked, "This is?" Wayne's answer left me completely stunned. "This is the nursery." What? I opened my mouth in surprise. "You've already arranged the nursery?" After a tour, it was clear that this house wasn't something Wayne had bought on a whim. It was his dream home. "Wayne, we've only been married for half a day, not even 24 hours yet." Wayne didn't seem to care. "So what?" "I've never really asked you properly. Why did you want to marry me?" I, of course, knew why I married Wayne. Because I was afraid he'd blacklist me. But I had no idea why Wayne wanted to marry me. I looked at him, hoping to find some hint in his calm expression. But Wayne was silent for a moment, just raised his wrist to adjust his cuff. Being married makes it easier to deal with those women outside. Hearing this, I let out a long sigh of relief. "You scared me. I thought it was for some other reason." Knowing that Wayne had some utilitarian motive for marrying me made me feel more at ease. Since my mother died when I was young, I've never felt secure with men or women. For me, being used is more reliable than love. This has always been my guiding principle in life. But Wayne didn't seem pleased with my attitude and walked away. That night, we slept in our own rooms, and Lisa called me to ask me out to a bar. "Hey girl! What are you up to?" Lisa's side was very noisy. "Don't you usually come to the bar at night? Why didn't you come today? Busy with work?" "I found some handsome guys for you." Holding my phone, lying on the huge bed, I sighed helplessly. "Girl, I can't go to bars anymore." Lisa was shocked. "No way. Have you lost faith in men?" "Let me tell you. I got married." Lisa on the other end of the phone spat out her drink, and her scream almost pierced my eardrum through the screen. Wayne appeared at my door, already dressed, at some point. Seeing me on the phone, he came over and sat on my bed. Wayne took the phone from my hand and cleared his throat. "Lisa, it's not some other man, it's me." Lisa stammered, not knowing what to say. "Don't tell me you two got married." Wayne snorted. "Why not?" Lisa shouted over the phone. "Give me the address. I need to come over and have a night chat with my best friend." Half an hour later, Lisa appeared at my door. I lifted the blanket and invited her in. "Come on, ask whatever you want." Lisa looked at me, several questions on the tip of her tongue. "Seriously, are you two playing some abstract game here?" Lisa and I got under the blanket and started our night chat. "Sonny, you really have it tough. My brother is not an easy person." I nodded. "Don't worry, I'm no pushover either." Lisa excitedly pulled out her phone, ready to show me wedding dresses, bridesmaid dresses, and even the park address for the wedding. "Let me tell you, when you two get married, I definitely want to sit at the main table, and I want to be a bridesmaid." Wayne brought in 2 glasses of milk, and hearing Lisa, he asked, "Shouldn't your wedding be before ours?" "What? You're getting married too?" I looked at Lisa and asked, "Who are you marrying?" Lisa, a bit embarrassed, said, "To be honest, I haven't met him yet. My dad said he's a match for me, and he was a college classmate of my brother's." Wayne handed me a glass of milk, indicating that I should drink it. But I don't have a habit of drinking milk before bed. I usually drink wine directly. However, since Wayne gave it to me, I couldn't refuse his kind gesture. After drinking the whole glass, Wayne unexpectedly pulled out a napkin from somewhere and wiped my mouth for me. Lisa was watching from the side, her eyes nearly popping out. "Sonny, you're something else. You know my brother never takes care of anyone." Lisa said mysteriously. "He only wiped Pollo's mouth before." "Ahaha, who names a good girl Pollo?" Wayne's face turned dark, and he said coldly, "Pollo was the first dog I raised." I nodded, but then quickly realized he seemed to be taking advantage of me. Jason will be back the day after tomorrow. Just meet him then and don't act crazy. After Wayne finished speaking, he left, leaving me and Lisa alone. Lisa and I leaned against the headboard. She was fiddling with my and Wayne's marriage certificate and asked me, "Is marriage fun?" I shook my head. "I don't know." Lisa looked a bit troubled. "I know my dad introduced someone suitable for me, but what if I don't like him?" I shook my head. "I don't know, but if you don't hate him, you might end up liking him." In fact, Lisa fell for him faster than I had imagined. The moment she saw Jason, she was head over heels. After learning about my identity, Jason even talked to me about Wayne's college antics. I realized I might have never truly understood him. After being a third wheel for a few hours, I decided to leave. Driving, I somehow ended up in front of Wayne's company building. Thinking back to my time as his assistant here, I felt a bit nostalgic. Without an appointment, I went to Wayne's company. His assistant told me he was in a meeting, so I waited in his office. But I was so tired from chatting with Lisa every day for the past few days that I fell asleep without realizing it. When I opened my eyes again, it was almost dark. I jumped up from the sofa and heard Wayne's voice. "Awake? You've been asleep for 3 hours." I yawned and walked to Wayne's desk. "I didn't realize you look quite handsome when you're working seriously." Wayne was clearly pleased, unable to hide the smile at the corners of his mouth. "When you were my assistant, didn't you often sneak glances at me?" My little secret from back then was suddenly exposed, and I felt a bit at a loss. "Don't talk nonsense." Wayne got up and came to me, loosening his collar. "Did I say something wrong?" As he spoke, he took out a photo from his phone. It was a picture of me sneaking a peek at him. "When did you take these?" I reached out to grab his phone, but he suddenly pulled back. And we got close, his lips pressing against mine. This hard-earned first kiss made my heart rate skyrocket to 140, and my watch even started to alert. Wayne then gave me a French kiss, and I couldn't stand, collapsing into his arms. When I arrived, the receptionist called me Mississippi. By the time I left in the evening, they had already changed it to Mrs. "Well, it looks like I need to tell my company about your identity too." Wayne pulled me close to him. "No need, I've already told them." "Wayne! Are you serious?" "That's my company." Wayne raised an eyebrow. "So what?" "By the way, from now on, let someone else manage the male entertainers in your company." Wayne emphasized again, "You can be in charge of other projects." "What? Are you jealous?" I tilted my head to look at him. "Don't worry, I'm not that kind of a moral person. I have a lot of self-control." Hearing me mention self-control, Wayne unhesitatingly pulled open his collar. The bite marks from my drunken outburst were still clearly visible. "Then let me tell you a secret, can you not be so petty?" Wayne frowned, indicating he was all ears. I took a deep breath. Despite my flirtations with countless men, confessing my feelings now made me a bit nervous. "If I told you that night I acted so wildly because I recognized it was you, would you believe me?" Wayne shook his head. "I don't believe it." "Why? Why don't you believe me?" I was a bit angry. "You know how well I can hold my liquor, right? That night, I pretended to be drunk and waited for you on purpose." I almost stood up in excitement, but Wayne pressed me back down. "Go on." His warm breath brushed against my neck. "I'm saying that night I saw you first, then started pretending to be drunk and wild." My voice grew quieter, until only I could hear it. "You know, the highest level of hunters often appear as prey." I looked at Wayne. "So how does it feel to be caught by me?" Wayne smirked. "Who said I was the prey?" "What do you mean?" I was puzzled. "I'm the prey?" Wayne didn't give me a chance for self-reflection, leaning in closer. "Even if we don't have a wedding, we still need to consummate the marriage." He held me in his arms. "Anyone who saw us would think I was a lamb to be slaughtered." "Now do you know who the prey is?" Wayne asked. I sighed. "You're just a wolf in sheep's clothing." I once thought Wayne was inexperienced in these matters, but it turns out he's more skilled than I am. "Who said he never dated?" He's clearly very good at it. All night, Wayne proved through actions that I was indeed his prey. Looking at the bite marks on his body, I regretted how easily I fell into his trap. When I woke up, I had no idea what time it was. Wayne was lying next to me, wearing glasses and reading a book. Awake? He leisurely kissed my forehead. You beast! I cursed him. Wayne raised his right hand, and there was a ring on his ring finger. Now that you've noticed, it's too late. We're already married. I looked down and saw a ring on my ring finger too. When did you put this on me? Wayne took off his glasses and turned over to lean in. Do you really want to know? Sensing danger, I immediately jumped out of bed. No need, I have to go to work today. Half a year later, Lisa and I held our weddings at the same time. Lisa had always dreamed of a park wedding, and she had been preparing for it for 6 months. She and Jason had a whirlwind romance, they just clicked with each other. Because of work, I didn't participate much in the wedding preparations. In fact, it was Lisa who suggested having a wedding in the first place. How can you marry my brother without having a wedding? Lisa knew my easygoing nature. Don't worry, we'll plan it together. You just need to show up on the day, leave the rest to me. Thanks to Lisa, I saw my wedding dress for the first time on my wedding day. It turned out to be a matching set with Lisa's. Has my brother seen you in a wedding dress yet? Lisa's question made me realize, I don't think he's ever seen me in this kind of dress. I usually wear professional attire to work, simple and elegant, and I often wear pantsuits to maintain my style. I used to joke that you didn't have much femininity. Lisa and I were getting ready for the wedding makeup, now it seems I was totally wrong. The wedding makeup was very different from my usual look. When my brother sees you later, he probably won't recognize you. I didn't have much of a feeling about it at first. But at the wedding venue, under the influence of the atmosphere, everything took on a new meaning. Especially when I saw Wayne in a perfectly tailored black suit, standing with his back to me. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. Damn, is this what it feels like to fall in love? Just as I was thinking, Wayne suddenly turned around and looked at me, scanning me up and down. I felt a bit embarrassed by his gaze and turned to leave, but he quickly caught up and hugged me from behind. Feeling shy now? With people coming and going around us, I struggled a bit but couldn't break free, so I just let him hold me. Sonny, I didn't realize you had such a gentle and quiet side. I turned to look at him. When am I not gentle? The last time I saw you like this was probably when we were kids. When we were kids. I repeated Wayne's words, you saw me when we were kids? At the wedding banquet, I slowly walked towards Wayne as the big screen started playing some photos I had never seen before. I vaguely remembered that some of the photos were from my middle school graduation, high school graduation, and even my coming-of-age ceremony with Lisa. If these were arranged by Lisa, I had never seen them before. Could it be Wayne? Were these photos taken by you? I asked him quietly. He smiled without speaking, responding with silence. I kept asking from the wedding to the bridal chamber, and Wayne finally admitted that he had taken all those photos. Although I don't want to admit that I'm a voyeur, I did take all the photos. Wayne's tone was calm, but I couldn't stay calm. Lisa said you've been single all these years, turns out you were saving yourself for me? Wayne turned his head away, but I grabbed his chin and made him look back at me. Admitting that you've liked me for a long time isn't hard, right? I looked at him with a grin. Then let me tell you a little secret, okay? He looked at me leisurely. I slowly said, actually, I've been trying to get closer to you, but I felt you hated me, so I left your company. I never hated you. Wayne held my waist and pulled me closer to him. I love you. I reached out and touched his neck. Honey, I think I drank too much tonight. If I bite you later, please bear with me. Wayne leaned in with an evil smile. I can't bear it. All the bites you gave me before, I'll return them all tonight. Ah. Damn capitalist. No way I'm getting a good night's sleep tonight.